Hey, it's Victoria, welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching episode 15 and 16 of Revenge Love. We're sitting on my bed today because my room is a big mess and it's because I'm packing. I have like a lot of clothes. I got like choose outfits and all that kind of stuff, so it's just like clothes everywhere, and also like still haven't fully unpacked from my New York trip, so it's like chaotic. It's like it's a mess. So yeah. I'm nervous for this episode or these two episodes because I've heard people talking about them and just like, oh god, and I've heard some news about certain actors and I'm like, yeah, he's showing up this week too, so like that's not really great. I've seen people who were like, yeah, just pretend that you don't really see him. Like I do that. Like there's like problematic actors in like other like companies that still are employed, so I either just not watch the show, but like that's not really an option right now here, so I'll just like pretend that I don't see them. So yeah. Still just generally nervous for this episode. Like I don't really know what's gonna happen in these two episodes. I don't remember the preview. I forgot if I reacted to the preview here or not, but I don't remember. So yeah. But before we start, I do have to say something about kind of my upcoming reactions. I think depending on how this episode 16 ends, it's gonna really determine if I want to watch this series on my own when I'm like away, and then do like a recap and stuff. And I had this idea. I was like, what if I do like a little short like review essay, thought essay on. I'll probably post it on Patreon here for free for everybody to watch because usually my reviews are free anyways. But yeah, just kind of like my first initial thoughts and kind of my right off the bat opinions about it. If you don't see those posted anywhere, or I'll post in a community maybe, then I didn't do it. But I'm also gonna be on a plane for many hours, so I might just like type something up when I'm bored. I don't know, but yeah. But so far, haven't really decided if I'm gonna watch 2 episodes that comes out next week when I'm gone. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see by the end of this reaction. But yeah, so without further ado, let's watch episode 15 and 16 of Revenge Love. He can't let him. You care about him too much.
我跟你说啊，我可不是原谅你。就是怕你冻死，一点都不狠。我还没有陷进去。
Yes, you have.
我还保持清醒。
The way he's lying to himself.
谁能抵得住白月光回头啊
I cry. I can feel it coming.
我也没有多投入感情嘛。
Shut up.
咱俩就不能把话说明白了是吗？
Talk, yes. That's all the hell I was like. You know what could have cleared this up? Strong communication skills. There's a lack of communication here. But yes, communicate. 谈一下。
什么了？我应该看到什么
Let each other fucking talk.
贝贝，你听我跟你说好不好？
Let him explain.
说吧。
Yes.
昨晚怎么没回家？
I think he could many ways explain his thoughts, his emotions regarding Wang Shou and everything that has happened, like honestly, just truthfully, and then say something more like, I have some family stuff that I can't explain right now, and I will tell you when the time comes, when I'm able to tell you. I think that is a reasonable way, but obviously that's not gonna happen because we don't have a clear mind because you're stupid.
谁呀、啊？
Wang Shou. Fuck.
Wang Shou.
Slap him in the face. You know, I'm more mad at Wang Shou than I was ever mad at Willie.
我是汪树。
Okay. let's talk a little bit about this episode before we move on to episode 16, which, you know, I think like the past few weeks, the episodes were getting a bit shorter, and people were kind of, honestly, me too, I was like, why can't these episodes be longer? But this episode's 40 minutes, the next one is 47, it's almost 50 minutes. I don't need that long of pain. Like, you guys, I'm sorry, I wish it was shorter. I don't think I can handle 50 minutes of whatever's gonna happen. Oh gosh, but yeah, let's talk about 15 for a little bit here. I need my pen. I put my pen away. I'll use the pen. Okay. I think that Susan could have really said that, like he could have said, explained everything to the second of what happened that night. You know, he could say, okay, like this, I was taking my stuff away and I heard some snakes, and like as a snake lover, I was like, oh no, like something's going on, and I saw him laying there, all that kind of stuff. Explain what happened, what he said. I was angry. You know, honestly, like a part of me was like, you have to explain your feelings too. Like I think the big part is like there is a lack of communication and lack of responsibilities to their feelings as well too, because like for both of them, it's like they're, I guess like you can't really be mad at Wu Wei because like, you know, he's being lied to, and in response he's like he has to stay strong for himself too, because in many ways he also was trying to lie to himself about like this how he's feeling too, and I think like his character has always been lying to himself about a lot of his feelings. He's never fully kind of accepted his own feelings in many ways, even with the relationship and being, you know, attracted to men and all that kind of stuff. That's something that he's never really kind of like right off the bat be able to kind of accept those feelings and those thoughts. So like I think it's just that for him right now, this is the best option for him to kind of able to kind of stay like present and not like, you know, go crazy from all the stuff that he's seen and heard and all that kind of stuff. But like back to the assistant, he could have said like everything that happened, and he's like, and then I got a phone call, and it's like something's going on in my family, that it was an emergency, I had to handle it, but right now I can't tell you about the situation because it's some family stuff that I have to handle, you know. And just being as honest as you can as much as possible in the circumstance he was in, I think was very like, I have a family member, they were in the hospital, I was in the hospital to see that family member, you know, that kind of thing. And I think that, you know, will Wusu would believe him? I don't know. We've not seen, but like it's also that like client, family member. Like I feel like saying a family member is definitely more reliable choice in that, but I don't know. I just like the use of like, I'm going to go see a client like for 2 days till very late at night. Like even if Wang Shou isn't back, I will be suspecting you for cheating on me because you're seeing a client every night. You know, like yes, like sometimes like this stuff happens, and yeah, you gotta go to like fanju and like drinking things with your like business partners and all that kind of stuff. Yes, but like clearly going 2 days in a row does not make really much sense right now for them. So yeah, even through episode 15, I still don't know what Wang Shou wants. Like ruin their relationship, which he's clearly doing. So yeah, let's move on to 16. I can't anymore.
这么多视频，怎么都是他们3个人的？怎么哪里都有郭成宇？就没有只有王守和赤城的吗？
子光大人，喊我呢？敢不敢敬成宇一口？
What is this? They said, let's make everybody's dreams come true? They fucking kissed! Oh my god! I did say they fucked at least once, but a kiss for me is okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. he did not expect Satan to actually kiss. I think what it is, he was jealous. Because I was questioning, I was like, okay, why does that, the three of them, so like, how does that connect into the storyline? I think that it's the fact that, you know, Satan and Guo Cenyi grew up together. They're like, childhood friends and everything, and they have a really strong bond with each other. And the biggest part for me has always been that Guo Cenyi, regardless of whatever happens, situation, why he stays back, because he cares about him. He loves Satan, like in a platonic way. He cares about him, all that kind of stuff. I don't, definitely not the like Xiao Sui way of like thinking that like, oh, they have feelings for each other. I think that it's like they have such a strong bond, and Wang Shou is jealous because I think maybe Wang Shou and Satan is in a relationship, but I think Satan always brings around Guo Cenyi in there. So there's never been, they're not alone. They're never alone in many of the kind of their outings or anything that they do together. They're never alone. It's always going to be Guo Cenyi with them. So I think he's jealous. That's why he slept with Guo Cenyi or like did something to Guo Cenyi. I think one of the theories that like, oh, he found some tea on Guo Cenyi and threatened him to tell. He has to say that, oh, they slept together and they didn't actually sleep together to provoke Satan and stuff like that too. I think that's the case. Yeah, you don't expect the best friends to kiss, right? Crazy.
我再问你最后一个问题：成语重要，还是我重要？
Oh my god, it is.
是你哪根筋又打错了？你想什么呢？
Now the thing is he thinking about Wang Shou or Guo Cenyi? I think it's Wang Shou, but like that thought
为什么
comes.
不和郭晨宇在一起啊？
Oh my god.
谁？郭晨宇啊？我觉得你俩挺搭的，至少比你和汪硕还好。
还不老实是吧？
I think he purposely put that as that he used his diagnosis as an excuse to say, okay, like the reason why I have to left and have to pretend that I slept with Guo Cenyi is because, you know, my bipolar, my severe anxiety was getting too bad and it's affecting, like, you know, he's gonna use that as an excuse for why he left and all that kind of stuff to make him feel like in many ways the victim instead of the bad person here in the situation. But yeah, and honestly, fucked up. This man's crazy. We're gonna watch a preview. I have to.
既然你觉得当初咱俩没有睡，那你干嘛白白被我诬陷7年啊？
I'm an idiot. The whole time, I thought like the sleeping together was like a conscious awareness thing, but I totally forgot that the possibility is that Guo Cenyi could have been drunk and, you know, and they slept together, and he's like, I don't have, like, he blacked out. Girl, I'm stupid.
这叫将计就计。要是你没走，怎么会有驰骋跟我后来那藕断丝连的7年呢？有个成语叫由爱生恨，我还想反过来试试，试试能不能由恨生爱。
哎，说到这个，他好像对我的名字很感兴趣，问了几次我为什么叫这个名字。
名字
对，
无所谓吗？
是。
Because he can't just do whatever. These two cuties.
他是不是知道我为什么改名？我前段时间
That makes
去
more
看我
sense.
妈，她变得好憔悴。
People are just using this bed. Oh god.
可能是他老人家最近累着了。
谢谢你，你总过去陪她，还陪她一起吃饭。
Damn, I really...
But it's a major confirmation.
I really do wish that I have the book still, because, like, once again, I skipped so much of the book, and I went towards, like, the anger, like, the finding out about Yu and all that kind of stuff. That's the only part I read. I skipped everything else, and I'm kind of like, ugh, I'm gonna try to find it. Maybe somebody else has translated, but I don't know. We'll see. Because, like, the biggest part of the book, the translator thing, has occurred, like, a long time ago. It got taken out, but the other parts of it are still, like, they're the more recent ones. They're not really recent, but, like, they're still there, like, 200 something above, but, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so desperate to know. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm definitely gonna be watching next week's episode. I think what's gonna happen next week is gonna be... I'm not gonna say, actually. It's too much of a spoiler. I think I know what direction we're heading towards. And... but yeah. Wang Shou's kind of thing is just... I think it's gonna be... I think it's the need for attention and love and all that kind of stuff. I think is the drive for what he's doing right now. The jealousy of Chi Cheng and Guo Zingyu's relationship, the manipulations. And I think based on the preview, I don't think Guo Zingyu knew right away that, like, oh, like, that. I think it was more of a recent discovery, like maybe a year or so ago, or like recently, not when all in the midst of everything, he knew that he didn't sleep with Chi Cheng. With Wang Shou and all that kind of stuff. I think it's more of like, I think maybe like once Wang Shou came back, I think that's when he maybe went deeper into figuring out what happened and all that kind of stuff. Kind of else. I think Guo Zingyu knows about the thing, and then the whole like I said earlier, like, using his bipolar diagnosis to use it as I don't have the bipolar diagnosis like right away, because they did mention some of the criterias, but obviously the amount of disorders that is here, I don't memorize. I know like anxiety, PTSD, all that kind of stuff, but those are like kind of the stuff that I personally am more interested in doing research on. So, but bipolar, I wonder what he has. Bipolar 1 or 2. But like it doesn't really matter. Just like I guess we could say. Definitely don't want to like diagnose him, but like, do you think he has hypomania or just mania? I'm like asking like if I'm talking about Professor, like does he, like when I'm doing like a round table thing. But like in real life for like mania stuff, inflated self-esteem, grandiosity, decreased need or sleep, more talkative than usual, or pressure to keep talking, fighting for ideas, to experience through thoughts are racing, distractibility, increased goal-directed activities. And obviously the depressive symptoms. I think marked diminished interest in pleasure, insomnia, agitation, fatigue, feeling worthless, success. Yeah, I think like he was maybe in a depressive episode when all that kind of happened, like when he was asking for the kind of like, do you love me? I think it's not, his actions is not defined and based on because he has bipolar. I think it's more like there was a lot more of him into it, but because of maybe like he went into a depressive episode that made it more in the sense of more intense actions that he did, like questioning, acting upon those anger kind of thing, in the sense of like, you know, he felt that worthlessness from that depressive episode, and then he's like, okay, I gotta do something about this, and then maybe he got out of the depressive episode and he was in maybe a hypermania or mania kind of situation episode where he starts to, you know, do all these things like, you know, drug what's the name, Guo Zinyu and all that kind of stuff too. I think like that, but like it's definitely something going on with like his family and his history. I think the way he was raised, because like just the small scenes here and there where we see Wang Shou and Wang Zan's kind of relationship, there's something that's very interesting going on. Don't know much about their relationship, but it seems like the way he's like, if you always bully me, so maybe he came from like a more abusive relationship with his brother or like his family or whatever it is. And so he's like, their mom has a lot of power, and he's been like maybe like sticking, like being sticking up for his brother in front of his mom. I don't know exactly what in that case is like of how they affect this kind of thing, but there's something like I think his upbringing has a big factor into why he's the way he is and what he's doing all of these. And then the severe anxiety, obviously the anxious feelings of like people don't love me, I'm worthless, I'm not good enough, he needs that validation in many ways as well too. I think so like because Chi Cheng is not giving him that validation, so you can see that I don't know, like when he was like his facial expression was really interesting when he obviously was once again it frustrates me that I is it possible that he's jealous of his brother, and I'm like why are we doing this? But like, okay, I have to ask, is anybody else feeling that maybe Wang Shou has a little bit of a crush, or like has these feelings that's not just brotherly feelings towards his brothers too, just the way he looks like him and all that kind of stuff too? Because like that gave me jealous boyfriend vibes, and I was like, yikes. I don't know why I thought that. I don't like that. I don't want to even consider that as a thought, because that's gross. So gross. Because like that's your brother. But in that situation too, when Chi Cheng did go to his house and all that kind of stuff, you can kind of see like I think he was like jealous that his brother and Wu Wei was getting close and all that kind of stuff. So he's jealous. So he called up Chi Cheng to like, get your mans away because I'm jealous of my brother being so close to him. And then I think once he got away, he's realized, oh shit, I'm jealous that Chi Cheng and Wu Wei is gonna be close together as well too. I think like he's just like that. I don't think he loves any one of these people. I think he more of like he needs that attention, that reassurance, that constant need of like somebody to focus on him. Because if without that focus, he spirals into these negative thoughts. I think that's the case. I think that's how things are with him in that. And then, because in many ways too, he was also sticking close to Xiao too. And I think that also he's like the way he's like calling him names and like saying things. I think he's also trying to like get Xiao to be on his side too. I think he's trying to get people to like him, and I think that is the reason why he's doing all of this stuff, is because he needs people to like him and needs the attention to be on. I keep repeating myself, but yeah, I think that's a big factor into all the stuff that he does. Next episode, it seems very interesting because I think the whole like, why does he, in the preview we talked about how like, why is he constantly asking about his name? So like, oh, like the name change. Why was the name change? Because he broke up with Yu and he needed to like kind of start over again. And that comes in play. Like, I think next episode, Wang Shou is going to figure out something about Yu, expose Wu Wei to Chi Cheng. No, he wasn't the one to do that. He was not the one. Now I don't know why he needs to. Maybe he's trying to use it as a way to have a leverage against Wu Wei. But yeah, he's not the one that exposes Yu to Chi Cheng. I'm not gonna say who it is, but like, yeah. I think next week definitely gonna be the breakup and the reveal. But other stuff, I'm not gonna say it. But yeah. And I forgot if I said this already, but next week, episode 17, 18, I will be watching it on my own. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'll write a little like thought review in there, and then obviously rewatch. But yeah, whatever. What an episode. So yeah, that's it for my reaction. Hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my social media link down below. See you next time.